Hello and welcome back to Modalities Movement Therapy. Today we are going to explore the relationship between the hips and the core through a more integrated fascial approach by improving how these areas coordinate and support each other with movement. Working the body as an interconnected system, offering support through myofascial continuity, linking the hip muscles to the abdominal muscles, the diaphragm, our main muscle of respiration, and the spine will allow for more functional movement, stability, and force transfer. A major muscle that connects us is the deep psoas muscle. The psoas and the diaphragm share a fascial attachment, which means diaphragmatic breathing will greatly influence how the hips and the core stabilize each other. Remember, movement is key, and if you don't use it, well, you lose it. You're going to need a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, 1 or 2 books, thick books will do. You need a soft reflex ball and one of these loop resistance bands. And don't forget your water. You can start sitting on the yoga block if you want to. If you are not comfortable on the mat itself, you can just sit on that yoga block. From here, we're going to start with the right leg. So I just want you to shift your hip. Imagine someone's pulling your foot away from you. Just shift the right forward. If you're on the mat, you'll do the same thing. Just that right hip. The left will pull slightly back, but just focus on shifting that right hip forward. You can hold onto the hips if you want to and do another 4, another 3, 2, and 1. Keep your reflex ball handy. You're going to cross that ankle over the supporting leg. Take that reflex ball and bring it onto the inner thigh. A nice deep massage, working along that deep core line. You're going to work in circular motions from side to side and just focus right into the hip area there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can place the ball behind the knee. Just cradle the ankle in the left hand and point and flex that foot. Point and flex. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Now you're going to draw a circle with the toes. Try really point the foot and get as much movement into the ankle as you can. Change direction. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, keeping the ball behind the knee, I want you to push the knee out and you're going to just bounce the knee into that movement. If you can, bring your cradling your leg in your left hand, bring the heel towards your chest and continue pushing the knee out. And now you're going to get that movement from the hip. Keep going. Another 4, 3. Use that hand, the left hand, to help you elevate yourself into a nice lifted position. And make sure you're on those sit bones to help with that. Okay, that foot, that right foot on the mat, you can bend the left knee and you're going to just bounce into this movement. Stretching, or actually rather releasing, should I say, that back line. We're also massaging and releasing a muscle called the popliteus behind the knee. 4, 3, part of the deep core line and part of the back line of the body. Okay, from there, we're now going to take the reflex ball and we're going to position it behind the left knee. Okay, you're going to bounce into this movement as well. Keep going for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit on your block or on your mat. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. You're going to keep the ball behind the left knee, and we're going to just bounce. So this is giving our right hip a little bit of a stretch. So just opening up in the hip. I'm pushing my right knee back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you can, bring your tailbone as close to your left heel as possible. And now you're going to sit down and bounce that right knee into that open position. If you want to continue sitting on the yoga block, do so. The heel does not have to be close to the tailbone to feel that stretch. But even if you're there, just release the reflex ball rather, and bounce that knee down. Okay, we're going to do the same to the left. So reposition the reflex ball behind the right knee, and you're going to bring that left ankle over the right and bounce your tailbone back and forward. Four, 3, 2, and now try and get that tailbone as close to the heel as possible and bounce that knee out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, release the ball. Come back to that seated position with the legs extended, and now you're going to shift out of the left hip, and the right hip should pull slightly back. Pulse. If you're sitting on your yoga block, you'll be doing the same. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. If you want to take the reflex ball behind the knee, do so, and you're going to cradle the leg, and you're going to draw a circle with the foot. Four more. 3, 2, and 1. Change direction. And now you're holding onto the foot, pushing the knee out, and you're going to cradle the leg. Pull yourself into a nice lifted position. And release the leg again, release the reflex ball, and just massage over that inner thigh. Keep going. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Release the right buttocks. So you're going to sit on that reflex ball and just give it a good massage. Massage all the way around. Open up that right knee and get onto the lateral side of the leg. Keep going. 4 more. And 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's do the same on the left. You're going to roll around and open up the left knee to get right onto that lateral side of the leg. Four more. And 3, 2, and 1. From there, we're now going to work onto the QL, which is another deep muscle in the back. You're going to position the reflex ball, and then on the right side of the spine, you can relax your head in your hands, cross your right ankle over your left knee. So we're on the fleshy part above the sacroiliac spine in line with the hip bone and below the rib cage. Now you're going to bounce that knee out to the side. Take it nice and slow. For some people, this can be quite a sensitive spot, so just make the movement smaller if you are finding it quite sensitive. And if you can get a little bit deeper into it, we're now going to hold the knee down towards the floor, and you're just going to make the movement smaller. Pulsing there. Do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to stay on the right side, and we're going to reposition the reflex ball just where the shoulder meets the neck. So on those upper trap muscles and the muscles that lift and lower the shoulders. Relax your head in your left hand, and you're going to arch the back. So imagine someone's pulling the belly button up to the ceiling with a piece of string. You're breathing in, circle the elbow up and down and around there. You're exhaling when you're in this tuck position. Now open up, breathing in and exhale. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Nice and slowly. As you arch, breathe in, the chin should drop. On your exhalation, the chin should lift slightly. Do another 2. And then exhale. Your last one. And exhale. Hold it in this open position. See if you can lift everything except your tailbone and your head off the mat. And you're going to just wiggle the hips, or wiggle the shoulders rather, from side to side. So just moving the ball towards the arm and back towards the spine. 3, 2, and 1. Take the reflex ball in your hand, in your right hand, and position it on the right side of the spine, just at the occiput ridge, which is at the base of the skull, in line with the ears, or with the earlobe, or maybe slightly higher than the earlobe. And you're going to just relax the head on the ball, keep the palm under the ball, and now you're massaging the ball from side to side. And when you're ready, you're going to rock over to the left side, and we're going to start at the occiput ridge and then to the shoulder and into the lower back. So support your head in your right hand, position the ball onto your left hand and under the occiput ridge. Then you're going to roll that ball from side to side. 3, 2, and 1. Keep the head in the right hand, lift your shoulder and position the ball next to the spine on the shoulder blade, or just between the shoulder blade and the spine. And we're going to breathe in, allow the chin to just go with the flow and drop. Exhale and bring the elbow to the waist. Breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Keep going. Let's do another 4 and exhale. And 3 2 and 1 more. Bring the elbow back to the diagonal, keeping the tailbone on the mat and the head resting in the hand. You're going to move the ball and just give it a little bit of a massage there. Do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rock off the reflex ball and bring it now into the lower back on the left side of the spine at that fleshy part above the sacroiliac spine in line with the hip bone and below the rib cage. Cross that left ankle over the right and you can bring both hands under the head and just rock the knee towards the side the ball is under. So towards that left side and pulse it. Do another 4, 3. Keep going like this if you want to. Let's try and get a bit deeper if you can and pulse that knee down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the foot, release the reflex ball, and just have a nice big stretch out and yawn. Okay, while we're in this position, we're going to just bring the hands onto the rib cage. I want you to practice your diaphragmatic breathing. So breathe in for 4 counts through the nose. As you exhale through the nose, feel the rib cage dropping and try and create a nice vacuum there. So you're really sucking everything in and getting rid of all the breath in the lungs. Breathing in. Keep your spine in a neutral position and exhale. Breathing in. So we're now trying to exhale for a little bit longer. Do 2 more. Breathing in and exhale. And 1 more. Hug your knees into your chest and you're going to rock yourself to a seated position. Hug your knees into your chest and you're going to rock yourself to a seated position. You're going to need the reflex ball again, so let's extend the right leg. Bring the reflex ball in the left hand and you're going to hold the back of your left knee, or thigh should I say. You can cross the ankle over the right leg and then just bring your arm in slightly. You're going to bring the ball onto the sternum. So I'm just going to bring it a bit lower because of the microphone and push into the sternum. So that right on the chest bone there. You're going to pull yourself into a rotated position. So you're breathing in and open up. So it's right up here, maybe slightly lower down. Breathe in and then exhale. So use that right hand to pull you into a nice lifted position and rotate. This is a lovely release for the shoulder and release. Breathing in, you can roll the ball slightly over to the left side and then exhale. Breathe in and exhale. We're just going to do 1 more. Breathing in and exhale. Now you're going to extend that left arm. We're going to breathe in. We're going to open up. Palm is facing up. And you're going to round the spine and exhale. Vacuum there. Breathing in. And then exhale into that vacuum. Suction everything down and get rid of all the breath in the lungs. Breathing in and exhale. 4 to go. Breathing in and exhale. 3 and exhale. Nice. Last 2. And 1 more. And exhale. Let's go over to the right side. Okay, we're now going to, you can sit on the yoga block if you want to, or sit on the mat, lift yourself up, bring the sit bones onto the mat, cross the right ankle over the left knee, or just bring that right foot next to the left. And you're going to take your left hand underneath your thigh and just lift yourself into that nice extended position. Now you can take the right hand onto the ball and bring the ball onto the sternum. We're going to pull ourselves into a nice lifted and rotated position, breathing in, looking over that right shoulder. Exhale and release. Breathing in. Roll the ball slightly if you want to, and then exhale and release. Breathing in and exhale and release. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. Just do another 2, breathing in and exhale. And last one and exhale. Let's reach that ball in the hand, and you're going to breathe in, opening up, rotating, and exhale. Come into that rounded position. Get rid of all the breath in the lungs and breathe in. Exhale and vacuum, vacuum, vacuum. Suction the belly button to the spine. Breathing in and exhale. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And exhale. And 1 more. Okay. Put the reflex ball to the side. We are going to need it in a minute. Bring your block, your yoga block or your books, and bring your hands on either side. We're going to just do a little bit of movement in the hips again. So sitting up nice and tall onto the sit bones, and let's shift one side and then the other side. So try and get a little bit of rotation in the upper body, and you pushing, so you're keeping that resistance, pushing against that yoga block, and twist and twist, twist and twist. So we're alternating side to side, side to side. You can move and shift yourself forward on your mat if you want to, and then you're taking yourself back. Otherwise, just stay in one position and shift and shift, and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good. From there, we're going to come onto our front, and we're going to now position the reflex ball inside. We call this the iliac dungeon. So that's going to give us that psoas release. And then we're going to work on the hip flexor, which is attached to the psoas muscle. So this is known as your iliopsoas. So it's got a deep fascial connection onto the psoas muscle. So let's lie. Let's start on the right side. Well, let's bring the ball onto the hip flexor first, so where that leg lifts and bends. We're going to lift the leg and bend the knee. And you can now massage the ball from side to side. So you're going to just rotate the knee out and in, out and in. Keep going. Do another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to bring that reflex ball, like I said, inside that hip bone between the belly button and the hip bone. Try and keep your hand under the ball. Rest your forehead on your left hand. And we're now going to lift that right leg up, breathing in. Any strain in the lower back, you'll keep that leg on the mat. And then exhale and lower. Breathing in. You can bounce that lifted leg and then exhale and lower. Continue breathing in and exhale. Here we go for 4. And exhale. And 3. Last 2. And 1. And exhale. We're now going to move over to the left side. So let's start inside the iliac dungeon. You're going to rest your forehead on your left hand and position the reflex ball inside your left hip bone, between the belly button and the hip bone, closer towards that hip bone. Hand under the ball is optional. Otherwise, if you can, I'd like you to do that. Breathing in, lift the leg and exhale. Lower. Any strain in the lower back, keep the foot on the mat. Otherwise, you're lengthening out of that hip bone. Imagine someone's pulling your foot away. You're breathing in. You can bounce it in that lifted position and then exhale. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. Breathing in. You've got 4 more to go. Breathing in and exhale. Finish off and exhale. Reposition the ball under the hip flexor and you're going to bend that knee, both hands under the forehead, and just massage the ball from side to side. If you're not feeling much, you may want to just lift the ball slightly high. So it's just below the hip bone. Bend the knee and massage the ball from side to side. So these fascial fibers run in different directions. So let's move across from side to side. Finish off. And you can pop that reflex ball to the side. Bring your hands under your shoulders and bring yourself up onto your hands and knees. We're now going to use that yoga block or your books, and you're going to bring the resistance band just above the knees. Okay, we're now getting into the hip mobility. So I'm going to start with my right knee on the block and my hands under my shoulders. Bring the left knee in line so you keep your thighs and your knees parallel. But now we're going to drop the left knee down and lift. Drop and lift. Drop and lift. So we're getting that movement into the hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're going to stay in this position. Using that resistance band, we're going to open out to the side. You're going to look up. You're going to open up. You're breathing in. On your exhalation, you're going to come into that tuck position. So opening up, breathing in. Circle the leg back. Exhale. Here we go for 3. And exhale. Breathe in for 4. And exhale. 4 more. You should feel your supporting glutes working. 3 to go. Last 2. And 1 more. Take it nice and slow. Remember what we said about the breathing, that attachment. Let's take the leg back. So we're going to circle in the opposite direction. Now you're opening up, breathing in. Start rotating the knee and then exhaling. Now you're opening up again. Here we go for 3. 4. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And 1 more. Now you should be feeling it in that right leg, but we're going to focus on one more exercise. Opening up in the left hip, cross the right ankle behind the left, cross the left behind the right, breathing in, and then exhale. Breathing in and exhale. So we're keeping that knee in that rotation. 4. And 4 to go. And 3. Last 2. And 1 more. Okay, let's give that side a break. Rotate to the other side. Left knee on the block and hands under the shoulders. Here we're going to go into that hip lift and lower. So we're dropping the right knee, lifting up, drop and lift, drop and lift. Just let your breathing normalize. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you're ready to open out to the side, breathing in. Then you're going to start your exhalation into the tuck. Breathing in and exhale. Here we go for 3. And 4. 4 more. And 3. 2 more. And 1. Reverse it, opening up out to the side. Open up. Another 4. And 3. Last 2. And 1. Almost there. Just cross that right ankle above the left and we open up, breathing in, exhaling to tuck, breathing in and exhaling, breathing in and exhaling. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And 1 more. And well done. Just take yourself off the block and have a quick drink of water. We're going to move back onto the block. So you're going to keep the resistance band just above the knees. I'm now going to bring my right knee onto the block. Curl the right toes under. And you're going to bring the left leg so it's parallel again, curling the toes under. And you're going to rotate the foot out and in, out and in. So I'm rotating on the ball of that left foot and in, out and in. Keep going, out and in. We got 4 more, out and in. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the block under that left knee. So see it from this angle, pushing into the ball of both feet and rotating. For 2, 3, and 4. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. You can put the block to the side, come into a seated position, and just bring the band below the knees. So a similar movement to what we've just done on the knees. You're going to push into the ball of both feet. Take your yoga block in your hands now. So push your palms into the yoga block. And we're going to alternate from side to side. So the same movement, pushing in and rotating and release. So you'll find that your movement isn't as big as the previous movement. Just get that resistance in the arms. Rotate and release. Breathe in and out. Breathing in and out. Here we go for 4. Control it. 8 more. And 7. 6. Are you creating some resistance with that block? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Put the block to the side, and you can bring the resistance band off the legs now. And we're going to come into a knee box position. So position your feet nice and wide. Let's go over to the right side now. You're going to take your right hand, so see it from this angle. You're going to take your right hand as far back as you can. So I want you to open up and rotate as much as you can. Take your left hand onto your left hip, and we're going to get that movement into the hip. So drop the hip. So you're coming into a bit of a tuck, pushing down, feel those obliques working, and then lifting up. You're going to take that left arm, and we're going to rotate, breathing in, pushing that hip and reaching up. Then exhale, drop down, try and get the glutes onto the mat. So you're really focusing on contracting those obliques there. And if you're not using your breath, you're not going to get as much of a contraction. So really exhale into this position. Breathe in, reach up and lengthen. Exhale and drop. Breathing in and exhale. You can add a bit of a bounce there if you want to. And then exhale and bounce again. Here we go, breathing in and exhaling. Let's do another 4. And exhaling. And 3. Last 2. And exhaling. And 1 more. And exhale. Now so you're at this angle, you're going to rock around over to the left side. Reposition your left hand as far back as you can. So you're opening up across the front of the body. And we're going to drop that hip down. So just feel that movement in the right hip now. Let's bounce into it. So this is your exhalation. You're pushing that hip down as much as you can. Now breathe in, pulse, and exhale. And exhale. Contract, see if you can get a bit of a longer exhalation now. Breathing in for 3. And exhale. Four to go. Two more. And your last one. Lovely. Come back to the center, and we're now going to sit on those books or on the blocks. See it from this angle. Take your feet in front, and you're going to push into that squat position, then come onto your hands and drop the knees on either side of the block. You're now going to position your tailbone on the block or your books. Okay, if you're not comfortable in this position, then just stay on the hands and knees. I'm going to give you 2 options now. So your tailbone on the block and your feet on either side of the block. Bring your hands behind you onto the mat. Here we're going to lead with the belly button. So you're going to breathe in, hug the spine with the shoulder blades. You're opening up. Now exhale. Come into this tuck position, and if you can, lift your knees and bounce into this position. So we're really focusing on getting a nice release into the front of the legs. Open up. So leading with the belly button, breathing in. Open yourself up. Come into the tuck and bounce. Okay, if you can even sit onto the mat, get a bit deeper into the release, you can do that. Breathing in and then exhaling. If you don't have that height, it might be a bit tricky to lift the knees up into that bounce. Your second option, on the hands and knees, breathing in and exhale. Then you can lift up here. If you want to just keep the knees at a 90-degree angle, if you're taking too much strain in this position on the knees, then you just continue with that second option. Otherwise, you're opening up, breathing in, exhaling to your tuck. Breathing in and exhaling. Do another 2. And your last one, breathing in and exhaling. Walk yourself forward onto the hands and knees, and you can release that yoga block. Let's come into a supine position and just relax in this lengthened position, really opening up across the body and relaxing. So just start with a few breaths, breathing in and exhaling. Breathing in and exhaling. If you want to bring your hands behind your head, do so, breathing in. The other thing you can do is bring your yoga block under your head and extend your arms. And just relax the head from side to side. Think about those attachments as you breathe in. Keep the spine in a neutral position, and as you exhale, feel the release, pulling down, activating. So we're coming into a concentric contraction, so you're really getting rid of all the breath in the lungs. Then an eccentric contraction as you breathe in. And finish off with one more. And hug your knees into your chest. Just bounce your knees to your chest. And rock yourself to a seated position. Well done, and thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed the routine, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button.